Tim Hensley here with the Urban Homestead. It is Saturday, March the 22nd, and I wanted to give a short talk on pruning apple trees to different forms. We have finished gathering our scion wood from all of our stock trees, and so now we're doing the pruning the trees, the pruning proper. You don't prune until you get your scion wood gathered. And this is a red royal limber twig, and we pruned this tree to a central leader. You can see here we have laterals coming off. Here's first lateral to the right. Here's another lateral, and there's a spacing here of about a foot. And you want to have good spacing between your laterals. We actually had some other growth in here that I have taken out to open this tree up a little bit. We have some uprights here coming off of the laterals, but we've taken anything that's shooting up through the center of the tree. Water sprouts will do that. So alternating laterals and good spacing, and we have a lot of fruiting spurs on this tree. So we have opened it up so that we have good light penetration, and this is classic central leader form. You try to have a pyramidal form, short branches coming across at the top, the wider branches here at the bottom, and that makes for a very strong tree. Now, not every tree tends to grow in this with this habit, and so we'll go now and look at an open center tree, which is a Spy Gold, I believe, and we'll take a look at that here just in a second. All right, we're at this Spy Gold tree, and you can see that we might have pruned this tree to a central leader at one point, but for whatever reasons, I think we came to the end of a season and we just put this thing down here because it was split, and so we salvaged this tree, and it's come on and made a fine tree. We just let it kind of take its own form, and it has pretty much assumed an open center form. Now, there was a branch right here that was pretty strong filling up this center, but since we didn't have a dominant central leader coming right up through, and we had these laterals that were very upright here. You can see this one is upright. This is upright, and this is upright. So we have pretty much a vase form like a peach tree, and it's okay to prune the tree to this form. It's very open to allow good light penetration. You just take out the central leader, and so this is another pruning form, and it's perfectly acceptable to prune your apple trees to this form. We'll go now and look at an Espalier tree. We can just step to this, and Eli, you can come on down. Here's an Allegheny seedling. This is an Espalier form, and pretty much we're pruning these trees to a fairly informal Espalier form. We do have wires here, but more or less we're reducing this to a two-dimensional planting. You have some uprights that come in here, and we'll prune this off a little bit more perhaps, but you can tie these branches down. And so it's a very simple form, reducing this more or less to 2 dimensions, and you could think of it as an apple hedge. And then it does require a dwarf root to maintain trees in this form, and you can get a lot of trees in a small space. So a Espalier form is perfectly acceptable for pruning your apple trees. While we're here, we'll talk about another one, and this is if we can get around this old wire, this is called a step over here. It's another Espalier form. We have this fence here is about a foot tall, and we've trained this tree onto the fence. This is actually an Arkansas black, and we have fruiting spurs that are starting into this tree. And so if your space demands that you have to squeeze as much as you can out of your space, then this would be a possibility to have an apple tree in a very small space. So this is a step over Espalier tree. Now we're going to go over into our stock tree orchard. We'll look at one other form, and all right, we're here in our stock trees. We have a big L-shaped planting here. We're on a lot that's less than 2 acres, so we're squeezing a lot of trees in a small space. Most of these trees are on a semi-dwarf 111 root. We've actually planted the trees a little too close because that's what our space requires that we do. And normally you would let a 111 tree take a strong central leader. You would let it spread out about 20 feet, 20 to 25 foot spread. But what we have done, these trees, they are approaching, I guess they're about 18 feet right now. But last year, on this tree in particular, and all of the trees in this section actually, but this one shows it nicely, we came in and reduced the spread on these trees like so. We cut this tree more or less to 2 dimensions. So if you take the camera from the other angle down here, these trees are very much in a row. They're narrow. And so we pruned them kind of flat this last season, and we didn't want to cut the trees back entirely. And so now this year, what we're going to do is come into the tops of the trees and take out some of the uprights and recover these trees to some degree. We're going to hold them back so that it's easy for us to get the fruit, but especially we're going to be encouraging our scion wood growth, and this lets us have lots of trees in a small space. So this is another example of how you can prune your trees to suit your space. And here, a 2-dimensional freestanding field tree. Well, it is Tim Hensley with the Urban Homestead. Our website is www.oldvaapples.com, and just a few pointers to underscore that pruning forms vary according to the needs and the requirements of your space and your orchard site.